Welcome, welcome. Well, we've got 113 people out there at the start of this meeting. That's wonderful. On behalf of the council and our Timpanogos district, we want to welcome everybody to Roundtable. I hope you're all hearing me okay. And we're excited to have everybody here tonight. We're going to first have an opening prayer, and we've asked Terry Richardson to offer that prayer for us. And then we've asked Steve Baugh to do the Scout Oath and Law. So if everybody will mute yourself while we do these two, that probably will work out best.
Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we're very thankful that we're able to come together tonight as professionals and volunteers supporting scouting in our different districts. We pray for health and strength for all our volunteers and wonderful families that are part of our program, and pray that we'll have thy spirit and guidance with us tonight as we learn new things through our roundtable. And we ask this in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Steve, you're still on mute.
Steve, are you muted?
Invite everyone to make the Scout sign. Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2.
Okay, thank you for that, and thank you for all your participation. What we're going to do right now is invite you to go into your district rooms to receive information about each of your district activities for the coming period of time. We've allotted 7 minutes of time for this to happen, and then you'll come back here and we'll go through a couple more administrative responsibilities that we have before we go into roundtables. Okay, welcome back, everybody. The poll is out there, so if you see it, go ahead and put your name and troop number and district name in there so we can get a good roll from everybody. I'm going to share my screen with you. You should be seeing the food safety moment, and that's to remind us of to take care of our food this summer when we're on camp and outdoor activities. Make sure we are clean, and that is something that BSA wants us to be alert of at this time of the year. So in your invitation, this document was included in that, and if you need to get it, you can go there and down click it. It's also available out on the scouting website. And then our hot topic for the month of April is the Scouting Journey to Excellence reports. They've got some new ones out that you can download and have explanations for Cubs and for scouting, venturing. And so that's one of the things that we want you to be able to do, is score yourself on your journey to excellence and help the kids to do better. Is Rick Barnes available? Oh, I can see him.
Yes,
we're gonna turn 2 minutes over to you to talk about family camp.
Okay, Scouters, we got something exciting going on. It's something new. We are doing a family adventure at Camp Typee, July 11th through the 16th, and there will be 2 3-day sessions. Okay, We're looking for 150 participants per session, and this is for families. For families, okay? It's a still of a deal. It's $65 per person. And we've got a program from 0 to 99 for all ages. So we have different program groups set up for all ages. Our theme is Pioneering the West. We've got wonderful campsites with pavilions and water. You'll be able to park a vehicle in your campsite. We'll be doing dining hall feeding. We've got flushers and showers and an Olympic-sized pool. Our program will be handicraft, nature, rifle, archery, swimming, low cope, high cope for those in that age. We'll also be doing introduction to outdoor leadership skills for any adults that want to do that. So we've got a group of permanent staff plus 25 volunteers that will be helping us. So for more information, if you'll go to the council website and go to Family Adventures, go to Typee, we have our flyer there, we have our family guidebook and other information. So that's where you want to go to take a look. Our second session is starting to fill up a little bit, but we still need folks for our first session. So share this information with your families and your packs and troops. Again, this is Family Adventure at Camp Typee, all right? Central Utah, east of Mount Pleasant.
Thank you. Maddie Mayfield is going to give us a membership moment.
Yep. Thanks, Stuart.
Thank you.
Keeping membership in units at healthy levels is a top priority for the council. So each month in our district, we offer a quick tip to help your unit achieve its recruiting goals. This month's tip is sharing. Did you know that most scouts joined because of someone they know? It's true. That's why sharing the news about scouting is so important. Two great examples are scouts sharing their fun experiences with their friends and parents sharing their support for the program with the parents of their scouts friends. But sharing goes beyond that. Does your unit have a Facebook page or social media account? If you do, that's great. Ask your leaders and parents to share the unit's posts on their own pages. It will expand your reach exponentially. Did your scouts have a great experience at camp or another event? A great experience can be turned into a testimonial, which can be shared in any number of ways, from flyers to social media. This month, focus on how you can maximize your efforts to share the news about scouting. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Membership is an important part of scouting. A couple of just quick reminders. The fundraiser for beef jerky is going on right now. If you're not involved in that, you need to look up some things to find out how to be involved. We want to remind everybody to make sure their youth protection is always up to date. So we're getting through some people who have who are starting to expire, and we need to encourage them to make sure that youth protection stays up to date. And then there's some training opportunities. I got a advanced or a notice for Leave No Trace on May 13th and 14th. It's advancement training or training that's makes it so you can teach and leave no trace. So we want to make you aware of that. With that said, we're about ready to go to our breakout rooms for training. We've got a Scouts BSA room, we've got a Cub Scout room, we've got committee room and a venturing room. Thanks for being here tonight.
So you can either bring your car, you know, that you've made, bring a car from a past area, or make a Lego car there while you're there. And it's $5. I would imagine per person entering, whether it's a kid, it says per youth, but if an adult wants to race a car, it's $5. Okay, anybody have questions about the Pinewood Derby?
They did not announce that in ours. So where will that be at?
Okay, it's at the Orem Service Center, so it's behind the store.
Okay.
And there is a 10 o'clock slot and an 11 o'clock slot.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, does anybody else have any other questions about the council-wide Pinewood Derby? It's the traditional rules, so 5 ounces. You cannot have propellants. It has to be freewheeling. If you look on utahscouts.org under the Pinewood Derby, it has all the rules there. But it's pretty much a regular Pinewood Derby Cub Scout rules that you're used to. But again, if you want to, a little kid wants to come, they don't have a car, they can build their Lego car right there and race it, which is a whole lot of fun. So you'll be getting a patch, a Pinewood Derby patch, and loads of fun. I'm not sure if you get anything else. I don't know if there's candy involved, but I know that, and if you need to stop by the store, that'll be open from 10:30 to 3. I might be there a little earlier just because. Okay, so moving on, Miranda, if you would talk to us a little bit about Baloo trainings.
Okay, I'm hoping that you can hear me. I've had a bad connection so far today. Hey, everybody. Baloo trainings. One of the new items on Journey to Excellence going forward is to have at least, well, I don't remember numbers, but having members of your unit trained in basic adult leader outdoor orientation, which we're going to be doing in April, May, June, and July. There are 6 courses spread throughout the entire council. So from Wyoming down to Hurricane, I believe. And in order to take your cubs outdoors, well, you don't need it to go outside, but to do camping, you for sure do need to have Baloo trained leaders. The folks putting it on are energetic and fun. It is an overnight training. It's $30. It is fantastic and worthwhile. Once again, on utahscouts.org is where you will find the details on that. And it's running about every other weekend from the end of April through July. Bring a buddy, bring a friend. Target audience is any leader who doesn't have it, but also if you have some parents in your unit who are not super confident in their leadership skills, asking them to be specialists, sending them to this might help them gain some confidence and be ready to do a little bit of leadership in your unit. So we encourage folks to come and join us.
She kind of froze there,
lost
but I think she was pretty much done. So the first course will be in the Hurricane down in Quail Creek, and that's the end of this month. And then in Maple Dell is in May, as well as Camp Fife is in May. And then it goes to Bacon Park out Roosevelt area in June, Green River, Wyoming in June, and Camp Kiesel in July. And I went last year. It's tons of fun stuff I did not realize I didn't know. And so it was fantastic training, even for someone who's been doing Cubs for a good 20 years. I super enjoyed it. And I actually was able to take some of the meal ones that we learned and used it with my girls' troop. And so it's good kind of all around knowledge. Rick Barnes went over family camp. That was another one that I wanted to bring up, because what's the most fun thing besides Pinewood Derby for Cub Scouts? And that's camping. So if they could go family camp with their families, then that just builds even more respect for Scouts, and then it gets them ready for the day camps, and then next year, just they're excited about it. Okay, I have another training opportunity for you, and it's Akela's Council. And I have Kim Hicken that is going to talk about that a little bit for us.
So Akela's Council is a training that's coming up in July, and it's tons of fun. And I remember when I was asked to be the training chair in our district for a while for Cubs, and I didn't really get all of Cub Scouting, but they convinced me to go to Akela's Council, and it was the best training that I have ever been to. It taught me everything that I needed to know about Cub Scouts. And if it didn't have the answer, it taught me where to go to get the answer. So it's 3.5 days. Correct me if I get anything wrong, Julie. 3.5 days. We're going to be at Camp Tracy this year. We have a great staff. It's a great facility. We have all kinds of fun activities. It gives us a chance to really see the entire Cub Scouting program crammed into 3.5 days. So loads of fun, good food. Somebody else cooks for you the whole week. That's enough for me to want to go. So it's a great time. And I would really encourage anybody who could make the time to go to Akela's Council.
If you're a fan of collecting neckerchief slides, this is the place for you.
That's for sure. Loads of fun.
And then you get their hands-on activities that is like what the kids will be learning. So you get to go through some ideas.
Several years ago, we did one in Ogden, and it was really nice because it was just one day, but it was like from 8 to 5 in the day, and it was everything just crammed together. And you just went to a class for like 25 minutes, then you had a 5-minute break, then you started the next class, you went 5 minutes. But yeah, there was a lot of learning. Spreading it out over a few days is probably a great idea.
It really is. It is, and it's fun. It really is fun.
What's the cost on that?
It's 130.
Oh, sorry, Julie.
Sorry, 130.
And that includes all your food and lots of materials and tons of fun.
What's the date?
Julie, do you?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
sorry.
July 20th through 23rd. So it starts Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. and it goes to Saturday by noon. You're out of there by noon.
Julie, I just want to add, it's the best training I have taken in the 25 years that I've been in scouting. It's the best training I've taken.
I agree. Thank
Well,
you.
Thank you, Kim.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Even if you've been through Akela's Council, I'm sure you have a leader in your unit that has not. So advertise it to them, encourage them to go there. You want your units to be led by fully trained and skilled leadership.
And one thing I'd like to add about that, I can guarantee that after you go to Akela's Council, your pack will improve. It happens every time. And it doesn't matter if just one of you goes this time and somebody else goes another time. Every time a new leader comes back trained from Akela's Council, the pack improves. So if you have one leader, it's good. You have 2 leaders that are trained at Akela's Council, it gets better, and so forth.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, this is actually for Julie. This is Shelley Hendrickson from Oak Mountain District. And is there a way of going with somebody who has uses like a wheelchair or disabilities of some kind? Are there accessibilities available?
Yes, it's at Camp Tracy, and that's pretty flat, and we don't do a lot of hiking. It's mostly that you're having your trainings inside or outside, but it's pretty flat there. So we could get you going.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, we don't put you on a 50-mile hike. This is Cub Scouts. It's do your best. We do move from the lodge up to the amphitheater and then back down. So we don't move quite as quickly as the other, I can't remember who it was, Dana, that was talking about the one up in Ogden area. The classes are usually about an hour each, half hour to an hour presentations. And Baloo does a lot of the quick change. And so Kayla's council is kind of a little bit longer. You get to sit still a little bit longer, but nothing like wood badge. You're not sitting for a long time. We do a lot more skits and presentations. I'm not saying wood badge is bad. I love wood badge. Just went and I enjoyed myself immensely. But we do a little bit more costuming, a little bit more kid moving around, even though we're supposed to be adults. Paul, tell them about your den.
Yes. When I went to Kayla's council, I got put in the Mohawk den. And I tried to figure out what I could do so that I could give our Mohawk den an identity. So it was actually 2 weekend, 3 days, a few days off and 3 days. During those days off, I went into my hairdresser, got her to cut it in a Mohawk, had my wife put in purple wax. When I got back to camp with the Mohawk, we had an identity.
Thank you, Paul. So we're adults, really, not really.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I do have one more question, if that's okay.
Sure.
And this is just because I've only heard of this recently. I don't have a pack I'm in, but I'm the Cub Scout district trainer over Cub Scouts. So is that something I could still participate in, or is it only for members of packs?
We would love to have you.
That is a fantastic position.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Went to Kayla's council. I went as a council person. I was not associated with the pack, and I had probably more fun than everybody.
Okay, and then I wanted to just bring up one more about day camps. If you haven't signed up your units, make sure you get that going. There's still availability. And then, there's camps, the day camps. You've got 5 Kiesel, Mapledale, Tracy, and the traveling day camp. So just make sure you get signed up where the kids don't miss out, because day camps, that's one of the highlights of Cub Scouts. Okay, and then one quick little thing, and I just kind of went through, I don't want to read off of the council website, but they are offering the basic first aid training class. And if you have not been, it is fantastic. They've got one coming up this coming Saturday in the Orem, the same place the Pinewood Derby will be, right behind the Orem store. And then in May, they have one in Ogden, and they seem to have them about once a month. But it's just being in a pack, it gives parents peace of mind if you are first aid trained and the CPR AED trained. So just let you know, it's $30. It is put through by the Red Cross. Mike Perkins, at least when I went through it, he was one of the instructors. And you do half of it online before the class, and then you do the physical part of it there at the time. And that's a very good, I don't know, it's just a safety net. That way, if there's an emergency, you can be prepared. Because that is one of our mottos, is to be prepared. So I just wanted to bring that up, that is a good option if you haven't been able to do that, or if you need to be recertified. Okay, and I've been trying to compile a list of Pinewood Derby tracks to be rented out. I get a lot of calls at the Scout Shop, and I only have a list of about 4 that I'll share it in the chat, a file. And if anybody knows other tracks that can be rented, if you could let me know, because then I could let people that call the store know. And it's just a nice central location. So if you guys know of anybody that rents them, there's a couple that's their business that I've got, and then a couple, one at least, it's their troop fundraiser. So I will put that in there. But now we're going to talk more about Cub camping. So that's coming up, and I think it's an important part. As I keep saying, that's the fun part. So I'm going to have Valeria go through campfire programs, or what you can do at a campfire program to make it fun. So Valeria, it's up to you.
Okay, sounds good. So camping is a great opportunity to do a campfire program. To go camping with your Cub Scouts, make sure you have Baloo trained leaders, as we talked about it a little bit earlier. So just like, I want to get a feel of our digital room. How many of you have done campfire program? Nice. We did ours just not that long ago. We didn't do it at a camp out. It was just a pack meeting, but you can do it at a camp out or at the pack meeting. It's just up to you to make it, first of all, entertainment. Make sure it's fun. Make sure you work on fellowship during your campfire program, and make sure it's an adventure for everyone, for adults and youth, and make sure it is inspirational for everyone. So just with any meeting, campfire program should start with an opening, right? And openings can be done many different ways. We know it. It can be very patriotic. It can be very simple. It just depends on what you would like to do and how you want to present it to your kid, to your audience. I wanted to say kids, but you know, kids and adults that are going to be there. Does anyone have a favorite opening that they do for a campfire program? A song maybe, or a poem that you guys read, or I don't know. So I'll tell you, we did a song. Julie, remind me the name of it. I keep forgetting.
My Country 'Tis of Thee, I think is the name.
Yes, we did the first verse of it, and then we did a little like poem as far as what the colors of the flag stand for, and then we had our color guard present the colors, and we did the Pledge of Allegiance. Anyone does any other fun things? Any other songs you might find interesting for that?
I had one small thing that we did. We would pick one of a few run-ons that would come out, and one of them that was pretty funny was the running out and asking one group to to stand, the next group to stand, and then say, "I always wanted to move an audience." And the kids, they would just bust up.
Nice. That's a fun one. I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can start it out funny, you can and fun for everyone. You can start it very official and patriotic, right? There are no right or wrong ways, as long as it's appropriate for your group and your age group, right? So you, after your opening ceremony, make sure you include songs, skits, run-ons, to make sure it is fun and you get your audience involved and going. It is always important to connect with the audience from the very beginning. Okay, so a big question I have, does anyone know how long a campfire program should be? How about
45 minutes?
Okay, yes, it should be around 45 minutes. You always want to leave them wanting more. It is always better to make it a little shorter than to drag it out to like an hour and a half when people are restless, kids are restless, and they just, you know, we start losing them. I'm sure we've all seen meetings like that. So it's always nice to keep it around 45 minutes, short and sweet. Everyone has fun. Everyone receives a good message. gets inspired and participates in a very nice campfire program. What are some other items that you can have in your campfire program? Can someone name a couple?
We had songs.
We did songs, we did run-ons. What else can you do? You can do skits. What's another good part you should have?
A little story.
A little story. Yeah, that's our Cubmaster Clinton. He did a story. A very
You
good.
could also, oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Shelley.
You could also do a flag retirement.
You can do a flag retirement ceremony. That's a very good one. I feel like it always catches all the attention. Kids love it. It is a nice thing to end your campfire program with, because do you guys remember the flow of campfire program? What do we follow? We follow the flame, right?
We do. You get excited at first and you slowly get more reverent.
Exactly. So when we start with all the fun stuff, sing songs, maybe tell silly stories with some audience participation, and then when you want to move into the closer to the end you move, you know, the more reverent you want to make the room feel. And retiring a flag is a great way to close your campfire ceremony. You don't have to do it, but it's a good way to close it. What other ways you can close your campfire program besides the flag
With a prayer?
Maybe like a reverent song.
One of the other things that we had done once at a campfire thing, and it was for our pack meeting too, is that there was a leader that was leaving, and we did like a little thing about her and gave her a little award for being in scouting.
Nice. That's a nice touch. Good job. Also, I feel like a good Cubmaster minute is a great thing to have in the ending. Okay. The biggest thing for the campfire program to be successful is to plan it. So plan it well and it will turn out well. Okay. I feel like in all this time that we have been running our pack, correct me if I'm wrong, Julie, but there hasn't been a pack meeting where we didn't have something not go through. There is always something, you know, that either gets to or it gets left out because we're short on time and we don't want to make it super long, or someone didn't come, or I don't know.
We have to be flexible.
Exactly.
We forgot the flag stands for our flags, and so we dug a hole. It just kind of buried the stick. So we just have to think outside the box sometimes.
Improvise, yes.
Yeah. We had this whole thing. We were going to do a mock uniform inspection, and we ran out of time. And it was just like, well, we will catch that next time.
And it's okay, because remember, it is better to keep everyone's attention to have a very good composed meeting than to try to staff everything in it that maybe will be too much information or will drag the meeting out, and then you'll just lose your audience. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so a big thing about campfire program planning. So before you execute it, make sure that all the material, whoever's in charge, whoever's conducting it, make sure that all the materials that will be presented, either skits, run-ons, or songs or stories that will be told by all the participants, are approved and appropriate. Okay. Set some standards for those things and make sure everyone knows those standards, like no embarrassing an audience member, like no racial or cultural pronouns, no bathroom humor and things like that, you know. So make sure it's appropriate and all age, gender friendly.
And see, and with the Kayla's Council, we model that all the time, because you can't do your song, your cheers without it being approved. And then that's just to show you that you need to make sure that the leaders know what the kids are doing. So that's another thing that we model there at a Kayla's Council. And that's what helps me always remember with our kids that, oh, run it by the Scoutmaster or Cub Master, make sure that he approves, or it's not double. Like somebody, oh, this den is already doing that skit. So it just makes things go smoothly.
That's right. Yes. And remember, to have everything go smoothly, it needs to be well planned. When it's planned, it will run like a well-oiled machine, even if sometimes there are hiccups. It'll still go well. Also, another thing I would like to remind everyone that Campfire program does fulfill adventures. For example, for tigers, it fulfills Tigers in the Wild requirement 5. For wolves, it fulfills Howling at the Moon requirement 3 and 4.
But out of my face.
Let's see. I think it does not fulfill anything for bears anymore, right?
It does not a required, but it's the Grin and Bear It. They have to do a skit.
Okay, there you go. Oh, and also
or a run on. Yeah.
Roaring Laughter.
Oh, that's what it was. Roaring
Yes,
Laughter.
That's right. Roaring Laughter requirement 6 for the bears. Arrow of Light is the one that doesn't need it anymore. Okay, it used to, not anymore. So yeah, it's besides being fun and a great experience for everyone to take part in, it also fulfills adventures and requirements.
What is Moon Knight?
Okay. Let's see. Any questions? Anyone has any suggestions? Any ideas?
No,
I will go ahead and send some links in the chat box so you guys can get some ideas, information that you might find useful. If you didn't know, I'll let you know. Achilles Council has a great blog where you can search in posts in the history of those for many different ideas. So yeah, I will go ahead and throw some links in there that I like to use and from other people that used and found it useful.
How are you?
Other than that, does anyone have any questions?
Teacher?
You really shouldn't have to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly. Any suggestions, complaints, concerns, regrets?
So I know when you're doing a camp out, not just the campfire program, you need to make sure, like Miranda said, you need to have Baloo trained leaders.
Exactly.
You need to be able to make sure you're camping in an appropriate location. Cub Scouts are limited. They can't just camp anywhere. They have to make sure there are safety facilities in case there's lightning. They have to have restrooms available. So you can't just say, oh, let's go camping out in the mountains here. With Cub Scouts, you need to be following the rules for your own safety as well as the kids. So and they teach you in Baloo what those restrictions are. That way you're not caught unaware and then you're sued because you weren't following the rules that BSA has set out. So you need to make sure you have your logistics of where you're going. Make sure the families are coming. They're not dropping off. That's something we're trying to discourage anyway. But this is a family camp out because the family units need to be together. And then make sure that you've got a little bit of free time for them to play, because that was when we had our camp out when was it, September? Oh my goodness. They were just making their own games up. Okay, it is almost time for us to join back to the main session. Did anybody have questions about the camping with cubs? Mostly it's knowing what you can and can't do, which you get from your trainings. That's why I'm hitting hard the Baloo training, the Achilles Council. That way you guys can have a better scouting adventure or adventures, yes.
Can you put the dates for the Baloo and the Achilles Council in the chat, please?
Okay. Yes, a Baloo, there's 6 courses, so that one might take me a little bit longer to type in.
Julie?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I forgot to tell one thing about Achilles Council. Achilles Council has a Facebook page. We have a website, and if you look on YouTube, there are a whole lot of videos from Achilles Council, and so that might be a fun thing for you to look at if you're wanting to know a little bit more about what the course is like.
We did a campfire at a PAC meeting indoors with a fake fire and did the skits, the run-on songs, everything, just like we were outdoors.
Yes, and it's a great option to do it when the weather is not great, or you simply, choose not to have an open fire around a ton of kids. It is a great option.